This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by GoDaddy.com. Get a 99cent.com or transfer with code MMA99. Reebok. Get 20% off all UFC gear at Reebok.com with code MMANUTS20. VanZant. Get 15% off your order with code MMANUTS. Woo! Hey fans, it's MMA Nuts, episode 240!
240!
My name is Ingo Weigold.
Matt Griffith, MMA show. By my fans, for my fans, we're walking live between serious and ridiculous. What's happening? We've been shooting this shit for like hours
Two
here.
hours.
Fucking A.
Well, we've been recording.
Fucking
so,
A.
I don't know. It's been exciting. We've been talking about a lot of good stuff.
I'll just put the whole thing out.
No, don't do that.
Like, no!
No, who knows what we've said.
We said lots of
We talked
stuff.
about jiu-jitsu.
A solid 7.
We talked about, like, what are we talking
3 to 9, 7.
7? Oh, yeah. 7.
Elbows, I think
that's
we're
right.
talking about, right?
12-6 elbows.
Yes,
12-7
yes.
elbows.
Yep.
Or 12-7 elbows.
All
you know?
good.
Or, like, pointy elbows. You know?
Yeah.
They're like elbows.
Yes. What should we? You were like, you're the world traveler. You're fucking
I guess,
in Vegas all week.
I was in
Back.
Vegas all week. This was the first time I think that I couldn't really sleep there. It was really weird. So I was telling you, I couldn't sleep, so I was tired. So I was pounding coffee all day, and then that made me loopy at the end of the day. So in order to try to like relax,
Counteract it.
I worked out, but then I was like energized. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have a few drinks.
Yeah.
And then that just is like a vicious cycle. You just never end. 5-6 days of that, and I'm exhausted.
6 a.m.
Well, we were out one
Do I
night.
go to bed,
Yes,
or
we were
do I
out.
just keep rocking and rolling?
Everyone wanted to go. I'm like, what do you mean? We just got here. They're like, dude, it's 4 a.m. I go, really? I don't feel tired. This is weird.
Yeah.
It's because they do shit there. I think they pump the place full of oxygen and they put shit in your drinks.
They lace it. There's probably like some sort of cocaine
Yes.
enhanced.
Yes. I don't know.
Can you
But-
make that in aerosol form?
Aerosol cocaine?
They mix oxygen and cocaine.
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know.
Everyone's all hopped up. You're not tired ever.
No, just gambling like crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't gamble a penny. I don't like to gamble.
Weird.
But, I had a few
That's
beers.
weird.
Saw some people. Why is that weird?
I don't know. Not even a little like video poker.
Not a single
Couple
dollar.
slot machine.
Not a single dollar. Nope. Zero. I get nothing out of it.
You see the double tapper?
Of course, man. You
Go
know
out
what's
in full
interesting
effect?
though? They have changed the law there because you used to be able to just walk out of a casino with whatever you have in your hand.
Yeah, they
no
don't give a
problem.
shit.
Now, if it's glass, they don't allow it because I guess there was too much. I remember this too, like 2-3 years ago. Even at the nicer hotels, like right in the middle of the strip, like Venetian, Palazzo, whatever.
Yeah.
The Wynn, you'd see shit everywhere on the street 'cause
Really?
people are just putting glasses and stuff. And I know that people clean it up, but I think that the city's cracked down on that stuff. So they want you to be able to throw the shit away.
You still smoke in the casino?
Of course, you can still smoke. I had a few cigars while I
There
was
you
there.
go. There's nothing more glorious than smoking a cigar. Like you have a cigar in one hand, drinking the other, and maybe you're taking a dump too. So you got all the bases
Not sure about
covered.
that.
Like that's the best feeling ever.
Yes. Had some good foods there while I was there, so ate way too much, drank way too much.
It's all about it, isn't it?
Or too much
Excess.
coffee. Yes. And, the place was busy. It was just, it's
Really?
insane. Oh, it's packed.
Was that just because of the show that you were at?
There was
or
multiple conventions going
Okay.
on, so maybe that's why. But
porn
even-
show in town or
No,
not at this?
that
time?
happens in January. That's usually around the
CES?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, which I've been there for that, and it's quite interesting.
Always
The
interesting.
characters you see
Oh my God.
are just like, wow, really? That's how you left the house today?
Yeah, the
Okay.
woman wearing a saran wrap dress.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay then.
okay.
No problem.
That's why we have a meeting wherever they. I forgot what we scheduled. I did not schedule a meeting. Our vendor scheduled a meeting, and it just happened to be where the porn convention would let out. So it was just like a constant parade of
Oh yeah.
men and women wearing shirts that are like two in the pink, one in the stink. Like, hey, good for her. That's the kind of woman you want to take home.
Yeah. So I don't know. Vegas is still Vegas. Not my favorite place.
No, it gets old after you've done it for fucking X amount of years.
So we should maybe go for an expo one time and just blow it out.
Blow it out.
One year.
Yep.
When things are going really, really, really well, we just go and spend crazy money, do all the crazy shit. Yeah.
Sure. It's all good.
Yeah. What's happening with you?
Ready for some recap? Moving it
smooth transition
right
into
along.
recap.
Smooth transition
Yes.
number 1.
All right. So
UFC
you're obviously talking about UFC on Fox.
On Fox at 15. Ingo,
Wow, 15 already?
with no Yoel Romero.
I feel like it was just yesterday we had Cain Velasquez and was it Junior Dos Santos with their 12
UFC
seconds
on
of
Fox
fame.
1?
Was it? And Ben Henderson and somebody else was on that card that didn't really get played, right?
Well, they only showed that one fight, didn't they?
Yes, but they had the badass
Beautiful.
fight before that on there. And now they're on number 15 already. Wow.
Yeah, but that doesn't count with all the other shenanigans and like the UFC fight nights. So it's like you have the numbered cards, you have the fight nights, and then you have the UFC on Foxes. A lot of entertainment. And this was a card that actually delivered in some sense, but in other senses, it was a lot of, at least the main card, a lot of one-sided fights. So I want to start and talk about was it Jimmy Hettis who almost had his ear ripped off in the Diego Brandao fight?
Yes.
And they stopped it. And
bullshit.
Why can't they just fucking super glue the guy's ear?
That's gross.
It's not a career. Fuck, it's bullshit. Just super glue it. Why can't they just super glue it?
Oh, come on, Matt. His ear was falling off. I didn't
It
see
was
the
halfway
fight,
cut through.
but I saw
Hopefully
the
I have
picture.
a picture.
It looked disgusting. It did not look safe. That could get ripped anytime. It's his ear. He needs that. To hear.
I'm sure they can fabricate something. The goddamn 3D printer can print anything nowadays.
You think there's going to be
Can't print a fucking
MMA
ear
fighter
up?
just shaves his ears off? just
clip them on when you're done. Take them off. It's like teeth. Can you do it?
The Dan Hendo?
Yes.
I figure like Henderson has like fake teeth he sponsors. So
he should.
Randy Couture sponsors fake ears.
Fuck yeah. I don't know. I think these should have fought on. Who else? What else was interesting? Tim Means went on a rant about Bleacher Report.
He did.
Said something along the lines of, they said he can't stand up or something like that, and I need to do better. You guys need to do better. You suck. Hey. What's attacking the MMA media all of a sudden?
Seems like Bleacher Report's getting a bad rap these days.
Yeah,
Isn't that
what's
the
that
guy
about?
who pissed Dana White off a while ago?
I don't know. Is that the website that you got to keep clicking from fucking like
Fill out the
slideshow? Here's
Yes.
10 pages. Click next.
They love that.
And you know, if you're a website that does that, go fuck yourself, because
a lot of them do. A lot of the
Ugh.
Facebook shit that's out there is like that. Like they have interesting, like, oh, here's a list of whatever, and it's never like
It's a
just
top
there.
10.
You have to like click next. It's all for hits. Bullshit.
We will never do that to you.
Should start.
Maybe we will. I'm gonna fucking
Seems to work
post
for everybody else.
Every sentence is gonna be on another fucking
Next.
page.
Next.
What?
Next.
Oh,
Or
like, just
have
tell me who's
have a
gonna
nudity
win.
picture and then like click next to get the middle.
You do the fight results for a card. You're only gonna put one fight on
No.
each fucking
Nobody
thing.
will ever click that.
Oh, they will.
It's not even worth it.
It's not. It's so fucking horse shit. So who else? We should talk about this Paige VanZant versus Felice Herrig fight. Happy with the results?
I am very happy.
So am I. It was very satisfying, especially when I have my daughters watch this fight. And they kind of picked up on this. They're like, what's with all the butt being shown here?
Yes.
Like, yeah, it's kind of... There's one side of me that would have liked to enjoy this fight a little bit more, pants off. But,
there's always a replay, Matt.
yeah, there is. It's a lot of work to actually go back through.
Yes.
But it wasn't a pay-per-view, so TiVo lets me record
Gotta
it.
work that remote with the left hand, though.
Which is, here's a curious thing. So, why is TiVo letting me record a UFC on Fox, and then I can replay that whenever I want at my leisure? But if I buy the pay-per-view, I can't record that and replay that at my leisure.
TiVo won't let you?
No. It says, fuck you.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder why. I don't know.
I mean, I can always... There's ways to get around that if you have, like, that thing that records video gameplay.
Yeah, you know what? I've noticed in the past, it's all up to your cable provider. So there's some sort of code that they send out on that particular channel. And if that channel has that code on it, it means do not record. It will not allow you to record. It's not just TiVo. It could be like any recorder you use.
Well, the Comcast one used to let me record the pay-per-view and replay it. I think if you've paid for it, you should be able to rewatch that whenever the fuck you want. But anyway, back to the fight. So
I
wasn't sure if I'm watching porn or fighting.
or both.
Right.
I think
Fell
we got a
somewhere in
little of both.
between, but it was another just completely dominant performance.
Correct. What happened?
Paige VanZant just railroaded Felice.
Yes.
And
Wasn't she the one who got denied from the Ultimate Fighter because she was too young or something? Yeah.
It probably worked out better for her because she's the one who got the Reebok sponsorship.
Ah, very nice.
Cha-ching, speaking of which.
Oh, we're brought to you by Reebok?
Yes, we are.
Where you can save 20% off all UFC gear at Reebok.com if you use our motherfucking code MMANUTS20.
And that starts on 4/20.
Oh, yeah.
And which is
shit, 4/20. When is that?
Monday.
Oh.
So when the show releases,
Damn.
it's only good for 3 days.
All right. God.
So
Let's go to work high day. I mean, what?
yeah, no,
That's
we don't
bad.
do drugs.
No
Come
drugs.
on.
Drugs are bad, okay?
It's
Yeah.
true. But it's weird when you watch this fight, and you know, I've got a 13-year-old daughter who's the same size as these women. She's 5'4", 120.
Gonna be huge. She's gonna be like
She's gonna
Machida weight.
She has no interest in cage fighting. Though,
Good,
so.
thankfully.
Like
It's
that's
probably-
a good.
It's probably good.
It's a
for
good
you.
choice.
She should use her brain,
Yeah.
not whatever else.
Yes. I said, well, you should have the self-defense skills, but
Yeah. Although she does seem to have some physical talent in the sports, running, right?
yes.
Swimming.
Yes. Yeah. But so, you know, this was a dominant performance from Paige VanZant. Felice just, I don't know if age is catching up to her because it seemed like she kept trying to play the ground game, and in all the scrambles, VanZant kept ending up on top and just pounding away and pounding away and pounding away.
Sounds nice.
Yes. Yeah, I was very satisfied with the domination.
Me too.
I don't know what that's about.
There's a lot of shit talking leading up to this fight, right?
Yeah, and it seemed more like it was on Felice's side.
Yes.
Pushing towards VanZant, and then in the stare down or the face off, just kind of flinching at her. That's all
I'm
I gotta say
happy.
about
I
that.
feel like, in a way, she's highly annoying, and perhaps this will be humbling for her. Maybe she will.
Is she gonna get cut from the UFC?
Nah, I think she will change her ways potentially. And be more humble.
We'll see. We're moving right along.
Yes.
Cub Swanson, Max Halloway.
Oh man, that's a brutal.
Oof. Max Halloway stepping up his game. Another, here we go, dominant performance. And this is a card where youth beat the more experienced fighters all the way down. And Cub came out of it with a broken jaw and a broken hand.
He did.
And I like Max. You know why? He's scrappy from Hawaii. He's calling out Dana White saying, when are you going to have UFC in Hawaii? We got like 7 fighters ready to fight. That's a good point. Like, go to fucking Hawaii.
That would be some
Who wouldn't
crazy
want to
shit.
go there?
Absolutely. Get BJ Penn to do some media shit, you know?
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
BJPenn.com. Run out of the fucking octagon.
He's gone.
Come back to the octagon. You didn't get your win. You need to raise your hand when you knock Hughes out.
Yeah.
Just fucking runs. He's gone.
That was the best.
Yeah.
We were there for that.
Yeah.
It's like, where's he going? I don't know. But he's back. He's
yeah.
coming back.
And then you see him in person, like he's walking by us. I'm like, God damn, are you small? He's like such a little dude.
Yeah, that was
such
weird.
a badass.
It's weird because like that was one of the few times where I couldn't say anything. I see BJ Penn is like right there, and I couldn't say hi or anything. I'm just like, BJ Penn. I think I just creamed my pants.
Well, it's
What am I
tough
gonna do?
because you know you're at that point you're the media and you don't want to fucking bother all these people. Can I get a picture?
I love
like,
you,
oh
man.
my God.
Can I hug you, man? You're the best. I
Yeah.
love you.
Who else would you see there? Like Soteropoulos.
Yep.
You know,
Or what's his face? Big tall man, heavyweight.
I don't remember. This was
You remember.
the
Check
Rampage.
Hungo, Check
Machida.
Hungo.
Oh yeah, they didn't know who he was. Remember, he was trying to get in.
Yeah, they weren't gonna let him
Like,
backstage.
Jesus, this is fucking Chuck Congo. Let him the fuck in. He didn't look that big in person either, though.
Dana White,
It's always
you shook his hand at that event.
little boy hand.
His little boy.
He has
hand.
tiny little hands.
He's got big old arms.
but he's
though.
beefy as fuck.
Huge.
So, anyway, back to the fight. So, I like Holloway. I like this style of aggressive striking, and I appreciate Swanson just going with the stand and bang approach. And we don't get to see this that much anymore. Of just one guy says, "Hey, I want to stand and bang." The other guy says, "Yes, let's stand and bang," and then they actually do it. Usually, the guy says that, and he fucking Brendan Schaubs him.
Yes.
LeVar Johnson just takes him down, holds him down the whole fucking fight. Like, oh, you son of a bitch! I hate that. And then Max Halloway also in the post-fight press conference is a guy that says, "I'll fight anywhere, any day, anytime, anybody. I don't give a fuck. Just give me a fight. I'm ready to go." He's got that old school mentality that we're missing from a lot of these guys. Contrasted to the John Jones, I got to play it safe. I can't take any fight on short. I cannot fight Chael Sonnen to save UFC 151 on 7 days notice. Fuck that. We need more of these fighters that are real fighters that are willing to step up on any kind of notice. Donald Cerrone, you're seeing that with Benson Henderson now.
Mm-hmm.
I like this new breed of fighter. It's the new old breed. We need more of this. I want him to be successful because I like it. Anything else for them?
Nope.
We're moving right along. It's Jacare versus Chris Camozzi, and I don't have the right slide, so
it's okay.
Just deal with it.
Talk about Camozzi with some gigantic balls.
6 days notice.
It's like, fuck it. I'll fight that guy.
Good for him.
Yes. And that, that was his UFC return fight.
Yes.
Yes, it was. And, obviously, if you know MMA, it probably went the way you expected.
Yes. It was going to be a first-round submission. It was just a matter of when.
When, where, and how. So what was it? It was an armbar in 2 minutes and 33 seconds. So, Jacare looked pretty dominant. I don't know.
Yeah,
that, obviously.
And credit to him, too, because it's a lose-lose for Jacare. You have nothing to gain from this.
Nope.
Nothing. And luckily, it went the way it was supposed to, because you have seen it in the past where, there was another fight on this card. Jim Miller, his opponent took the fight on short notice and just completely destroyed him.
He did. As did OSP against Patrick Cummins.
Yeah, and Brendan Schaub lost $1,000 on that fight because he bet Eddie Bravo that Cummins was going to win.
He trains with Pat, doesn't he?
He cornered
Pat's
him,
a world
too.
beater.
That didn't work out for him.
No.
OSP caught him with an uppercut coming in.
To his credit,
going backwards.
He was losing that fight, OSP.
Oh, you're crazy.
Come on.
No, he was gassing out. He was losing the fight.
I feel like he was losing that fight.
I think you're smoking weed. I think you've been in Vegas too long, and the oxygen and the cocaine and whatever Red Bull infused drinks you've been drinking, along with all this Cuban cigars.
The cocaine I started off as strippers' tits.
Yes. Thumbs up.
Maybe more than once.
Oh, it's all good.
Well, I have one of those double nostril
things. He's just going for broke. He knows no day, no reason, no time. Just fuck it. Whatever.
Anyways.
Fake tits feel like elbows,
Yes.
That's what it's all about. Just don't go 12-6 on me.
No. You were saying, let's talk about the main event.
Yeah, so
Lyoto Machida versus Luke Rockhold. What was your take, sir?
Well, let me tell you the walkout music. So, Luke Rockhold comes out first, and he comes out to the "You're the Best Around," the theme song from the Karate Kid. You're the best around.
Oh shit!
I
remember that song. Can we play that right now?
Around.
Should I look it up?
No. Copyright. Fuck you. Strike 1. 3 and you're fucked. Lyoto Machida comes out to Jump Around from House of Pain.
Wow. Okay.
What the fuck?
You think Rockhold came out to that because the mock Machida?
Yes. He said it afterwards because he did the same thing when he came out against Bisping. I forgot what the song was. Something fucking Battle of New Orleans or whatever it was, just to fuck with him. So his walkout music game is high. He wins on walkout music.
Nice.
And then did you notice Machida's body type?
Yes.
Like a little bit different.
We were talking about this before we started taping. Yeah, I feel like to me, it seemed like he had a very terrible weight cut. Whether it was to,
I'm gonna post that little video of the gross weight cut.
just like
up
disgusting amount of water being sucked out of him, really close to weigh-in time, which usually means that they had a problem with it. And from looking at his body type, when normally Machida is very lean and cut, I feel like there potentially was an injury during camp or something that caused him to not be able to cut the fat properly.
Yeah, look at him when he fought. I'm gonna post a picture when he fought Weidman and when he fought Holloway, how ripped he was. And then you look at chubby Machida here.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the guy was on the sauce for those two fights, and then maybe, you know, Anderson Silva pops for steroids, and then he might be a little concerned about doing steroids. And then he also comes out and says, you know, I think a 2-year ban for steroids is a little too harsh. So I'm not accusing him of being on the sauce and not on the sauce. I'm just thinking maybe he was injured.
No
That's
sauce.
all I'm saying.
No sauce.
Michael Bisping, is he on the sauce? No news. No sauce. No sauce. No news.
No, I think Machida's pretty clean. But
I agree with that.
I definitely think that
guess.
something happened during camp, some sort of injury or something, because he's usually, I mean, he's one of the guys that I look at and go, he is a true martial artist. I don't think he would disrespect himself or his opponent by coming in out of shape. So there must have been a legitimate reason, you know, why he couldn't cut that fat. And yeah, I think he had about 90 seconds where he looked pretty darn impressive, and then it just went downhill from there.
He didn't look as fast as he used to be, and even
Yeah.
Rockhold was talking about it. I said I thought he'd be faster in exchanges. I was a little, you know, nervous, not scared, but a little maybe hesitant to, you know, exchange with him. And he caught him. And then once it hit the ground, we're like at different speeds. Rockhold's running 100 miles per hour, and fucking Machida's driving in reverse.
Yep.
It was just night and day difference between
Very
the ground
weird.
game. It was very weird. And then right at the end of the round, Rockhold delivers a fucking... He's got Machida's head pinned and hits him with a solid elbow, just absorbs all of it, to the point where round one ends and Machida barely makes it back to his corner at that point.
Yes, sir.
And then there's some weird controversy that I don't think a lot of people have picked up on, that when Machida came out for round 2, 1, he looked a little punch drunk, 2, he didn't have a mouthpiece in.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Because there was a point where he's on the ground, he's pointing to his mouth.
Oh, really? I
Like,
didn't catch
oh, are we trying to cheat here? What's going on? Is he trying to, you know, get them to... Like, that was right before he snuck the rear naked choke in. Was curious.
that. Little
So,
conspiracy theory.
I don't know. It's being
Could be an
circulated.
honest mistake.
And did you... Well, I don't think anybody expected that to go the way it did. Fuck.
I thought Machida would have won for sure. I mean, I picked him to win, hands down. I thought it wouldn't. I thought it would be a pretty good matchup. Thought it'd be fight of the year, but apparently I was wrong on that.
Well, I thought the striking, I thought we were going to get more, you know, more
No.
engaging. And, you know, no one has done this to Machida.
No.
You know, the only other person, you look at, Jones even lost that first round against him before he choked him unconscious with that walk-off, like, guillotine, drop you off. Fuck, who does that? Rockhold.
I guess I don't. You know, I don't know what to say. It's hard for me to. It could be the young old thing again. It seems like there's a definite difference, and perhaps it is what you say, and that a lot of the guys have been doing performance enhancing things, and unfortunately, as you age,
Yeah, he's
those things are
37.
required more to compete, and maybe we'll start seeing less and less fighters being successful in their mid to upper 30s now because
Oh, yeah.
of the ban.
The quality is going to go down for sure. You're
Yeah.
not going to get the same performance out of some of these fighters that you've been accustomed to in the past. It's just,
No.
that's a fact. Not saying that Machida's on anything, but it's a general statement that quality of the fights is going to go down regardless. It's just going to happen.
Yeah, how old is Rockhold?
I want to say he's like 30,
30,
he's
So it's
relatively
10
young.
years younger almost, yeah.
and
Big difference.
he also, there's a couple things going on with him. He wasn't 100%. He had bronchitis pretty much probably a couple weeks. And then he also was surfing and hit his head on a rock. And that's why he had that bald spot. Because during the fight, I'm going, God damn, this is a handsome man. Why is he balding? Why is he balding? He's like, no, you know what they did? They fucking super glued him, Ingo. Yeah. Why couldn't they super glue Hettis' ear? You can super glue a head pre-fight, but you can't super glue a fucking ear in fight.
So when he had a bloody head?
Yeah. He didn't give a shit. He's still on.
Fuck it.
I like this guy.
Yeah. He's
on point, man.
He's got a lot going on. Isn't he dating like Ariani or something?
Who?
Ariani? I thought he was dating Ariani.
I don't know. He kept looking at Paige VanZant like he wants a piece of the pie. He might be a little too young for you. Just
young and like about 70 pounds lighter.
You're going to break that.
It's a big weight difference.
You're going to break that. So next because now we're in this weird position because you have Jacare, who's the #1 contender, but didn't get to fight Yoel Romero, so he's kind of in a weird position. Now you have Rockhold, who completely dominated Machida, and I don't know, I think Rockhold was ranked 4, Machida was ranked 2.
Yes.
So that should make Rockhold the #1 contender in my book.
No.
How so? Who do you think fights?
Jacare.
Oh, why?
Because he didn't lose. He dominated his opponent in dominating fashion.
Well, he should have.
So it's like you can't be downgraded when you dominate.
You can. You know why?
How? Level of competition?
Yes, and Rockhold has beaten Jacare in the past back in Strikeforce. I know some people will say it was a controversial decision, but it doesn't matter. It was a win.
Ages ago. That sounds like MMA math.
It does, but we got to see, first off, is Weidman going to beat Belfort because they're still supposed to fight in May. And it was funny because they had all these guys on the set. You had Ariel Helwani, Brian Stan, Luke Rockhold, Daniel Cormier, and Chris Weidman, and they're all up on stage, blah, blah, blah. And Cormier is asking Rockhold, he said, if Vitor Belfort was, to get injured, would you be willing to step up on short notice and fight Chris Weidman? Like, yeah, I'll do it. Asked Weidman the same thing. He's like, yeah, I'll do it. But really, the rumor is that MMA is going to become legal in New York sometime in December. So they're planning to have a UFC card at that time. Rockhold saying, hey, Weidman, you beat Belfort. Let's do this thing in fucking Madison Square Garden.
Hell yeah.
East Coast, West Coast.
Or you could have Jacare fight.
You're still gonna go with the Jacare?
Well, there's a lot. Fucking December. That's a long way away.
Well, you got the May fight.
Why don't you have Rockhold and Jacare fight each other in June?
I don't want to have them fight again because the problem is you have two guys that are ready for a title shot, and if you pit them up against each other, you're gonna ruin a title shot for one of them.
So what does Jacare or Luke Rockhold do in the meantime? Just holding pattern?
Yes, I think Rockhold holding pattern. I think Jacare gets the Yoel Romero fight. I know it's shit, but I think that's a more sellable fight right now. I think the people, at least on my side, you're gonna go
July-ish.
Sure.
And if he wins, then he gets a title shot over Luke Rockhold.
No, I'm still saying Luke Rockhold.
How can you say that?
Because he fucking dominated Machida. Show me who else dominated Machida.
John Jones.
He lost the first round.
Yeah, but pretty dominating victory.
In the second round?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm in Luke Rockhold camp.
Okay.
So we're going to agree to disagree. Ingo thinks Jacare.
Yes.
Matt's going to say Luke Rockhold. UFC is very non-committal on this because they know they should give it to Jacare, but they're probably going to give it to Rockhold.
That's bullshit.
I don't think so.
Blasphemy.
I don't think so. And then I like what Rockhold said too, because you got to appreciate Cormier, who's up in a suit, calling, or I don't know what his role is. If he's not a commentator, but he's talking about the fights during the show, and then he runs down to corner Rockhold in his suit, And then Rockhold says, it's nice to have a suited corner. It makes you look proper. Like, that's pretty cool. You have him up there. He's got the gloves on, and there's a nice photo of, Rockhold screaming as he wins, and Cormier in the background like, yeah! They're all buds. Maybe that's the thing. I think he's starting a trend, running down like that.
Suited corner?
Yes.
Nice.
The suited corner. Where? Moving right along. Oh, I'm like backwards here. I gotta go. Sometimes you gotta go forward to go in reverse and go.
You do?
Yes. Like Willy Wonka in a chocolate factory.
My shit didn't sync.
Is that bad?
Yes. Bear with me here
Don't worry.
shortly.
I'm still trending through stuff. I may just edit that down. Or not. We like it organic. Look at, see? I start with news, but we don't start with news.
Because we're
We like to
crazy
mix
then.
it up sometime. So, do you want me to start then?
Please.
While you're
I'm trying to sync my shit.
navigating and syncing. You're all about syncing. You're sinking the
And-
show right
and
now. Fucking
literally
battleship.
sinking
You
the
sank
show.
my fucking battleship. All right, so we had Angela Morgana going back and forth with Lisa Ellis on Twitter. And it's interesting to see the contrast between how the men argue on Twitter and how the women get nasty. Or maybe it's just some of the women. So there was some back and forth between Lisa and Angela, and I'll just give you the last two tweets between the two. So Lisa tweets at her. She says, Angela, you're beyond delusional and a liar. I'm okay with my choices. And then Angela replies, Lisa, if I was you, I'd definitely make better choices, like the one to wash your vagina. That trench pussy is stank.
Ouch.
# wash your gash.
Jesus.
Like, they're
okay.
taking shit talking to some other level that my hand can't even reach.
Okay. Guys don't take it there.
No.
No.
Wash your ass.
I'm
Wash.
not-
What is
what
that?
would be
Wash
the
your
equivalent?
dick hole.
What would be the equivalent of that? I'm not even sure.
Wash your balls. But it's
It
not
doesn't have the same-
offensive.
it's not. It's like, all right.
It's not offensive.
Yes, my balls are stinky. What do you want me to do?
Okay.
I work out a lot.
Right. I think the comparable thing is like, well, fuck your mother or something. You'd have to bring the guy's mother into the play. Like,
Yeah.
I fucked your mother,
Yes.
I fucked her in the ass, or something along those lines. Your mother, a dick, and an ass.
Yes,
And somehow they all intertwine.
they do. Fucked up.
I
I don't know.
I just don't
And that's
know.
okay to
And
say that?
apparently, like, you remember like back in the day, so Frank Mir threatens to kill Brock Lesnar, fucking loses his WEC commentating job, will never
But that's
commentate
okay.
again for the UFC. And then who are the other people? Oh, well, Miguel Torres made some sort of rape joke on Twitter, and then he got shit canned. So,
But reinstated shortly. thereafter.
yes, they slapped him on the wrist.
Yes.
So the men, they're more criticized. The women can pretty much say whatever the fuck they want. I mean, she's calling, I think in a previous one, she called her a cunt or something too. Like, class. I like this. So moving right along.
Switching gears now. This is something I cannot get my head around, literally. Switching gears.
Go ahead.
In 2017, apparently, they are going to take somebody who has a serious medical condition. The person's name is Valery Spiridnov, and he has a rare condition called Wernig-Hoffman disorder, which basically means that he's just a head and his body's all fucked up. They're going to remove said head and put it on another body in about 2 years.
Does the spinal cord come with that?
Yes, apparently.
'Cause
Well,
I'm guessing you need that.
what they're saying is they have figured out a way to sever the spinal cord at a certain point and reattach all the nerve endings and everything else at that point, and he should be fully functional, or he could die a horrible death. One or the other. Not sure. It's up in the air.
Well, this is relevant too because you could be paralyzed in MMA and then you need some shit
Just
to
move your
happen.
body.
But I like where we're going here because say this guy's got a 15-inch cock, this new body.
Ooh.
You got a shot. You got a 1% shot. You in this body, everything's going to work.
Yeah.
You're gonna die anyway.
Yes.
Take the chance.
15-inch cock.
I don't know.
Which is
That's
interesting
too much
because I was
damage.
just reading the largest. I don't know why, but on Facebook there was a thing going around about penises, and I think the largest penis on record is 13.9 inches.
You don't want that.
That's a huge cock.
You don't want
It's
that.
literally like
No, there's no fun
could
to
you
be had.
could you imagine like you pull that motherfucker out on a first date and the girl goes, "Yeah,
No.
check please. I'm gonna be back later." So I can't do anything
You
with
knock
that.
people unconscious with that. There's
Yeah.
a point where it's too much.
It's too much. But this is crazy. I can't believe they're actually allowing this.
You know what's funny about this? Because take a woman like Angelina Jolie,
Mhm.
who
I
is.
knew you were gonna go there.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I have to. Who's already cut her titties off because she thought
And had her
there was
ovaries removed.
there was a chance of her to get breast cancer, and then there was a chance for ovarian cancer, so she had her ovaries removed. I hear there's a rumor she could get brain cancer. So
Might have her brain removed.
no, why doesn't she have her head removed and then put on another body then?
Nice. Well,
I'm gonna say she's gonna be the first woman to test out said operation. She's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
If there's a chance of something. See, I agree in this situation because the guy is gonna die anyway. Just fucking take a chance, roll the dice.
quality of
you
life
know?
is fairly low at this point, and he wants to take a chance that he may walk and talk
Sure.
normally and whatever. So fine, but I just find it crazy that that is even literally that's possible.
That someone's even willing to operate that. We're talking about that's got to be like a 20-hour, if not 5-day operation. Just tag team. You're in. All right, where am I at? Okay, I'm attaching this nerve to this nerve,
Yeah.
and fuck.
I feel like what it's saying is that I think the biggest thing is that where the issue you run into with this type of surgery for not just the head but anything.
What if the head rejects the whole body?
Well, that's what I'm
I
gonna
mean, you're
say.
having a total
I think
rejection.
they've had recently in the last 2 or 3 years some major advances in those drugs that allow people to not reject things that they get added to their body or removed or whatever. So I feel like maybe that's the advancement in science is that the anti-rejection drugs are so much improved versus like if you get a liver transplant or whatever else. You know, there comes a point where I think you might be able to just literally like replace shit on your body that's not working anymore, which would be cool, right? In our lifetime, you know, like let's say your penis just stops working.
My
Like,
dick's
fuck it.
broke.
I'm gonna get a big penis. I'm gonna put it right on myself. It's gonna work fine. I take a few pills.
I need a
It's all
black
good.
dick. Can
want
you
a
give me a
black cock.
big black cock?
Yes. Could you imagine?
Awesome.
That'd be sweet.
I want a 3-inch vein.
Just like
I
pull
want
it
the
out.
vein.
Just walk around with a big cock, swinging everywhere.
Just knocking bitches unconscious.
There you go.
Right. Moving right along. Wanderlei Silva did an interview with MMA Fighting, and they asked him, with everything that's going on, would you want to change anything that you've done in the past? He says, I'm not going to do it in his voice. I'm just going to give it to you straight up. He says, I don't regret anything I did. I heard some things that the commission did to fighters. Looks like they showed up at a champion's house at 6:50 a.m. to test him. What the fuck is that? Is this a joke? I also heard they forced a famous fighter to undress in front of everybody in order to be tested. What is that? We are being violated. They are taking out our rights as citizens. The test has to be done on the day of competition. You have to be at the same level of your opponent on fight day. That's against the Constitution. You can't have this law. They are not athletes, and they don't know what we have to go through to be there and put on a show. What do you think about that? Constitutionality. He's bringing laws and constitutionality.
Okay.
Apparently, he's not a fan of the out-of-competition testing.
I wonder why.
Because I think he went on to go to say steroids are bad, drugs are bad, but what you do
Okay.
in your personal life is your thing. As long as you show up fight day and you're clean,
You don't piss hot.
I'm okay with that. That's his opinion.
I don't know. It's such a weird topic. I mean,
He's banned for life.
a part of me says, okay, he's right, and another part of me goes, well, if you're cheating like 90% of the time and you're not 10% of the time, you're still cheating.
Everybody's cheating.
I don't know. It's constitutional or not, I don't think that government should be, just like with baseball and all this,
Yeah.
they don't need to be involved in professional sports. They got other shit to worry about. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Worry about weed.
I just read a thing today that said Colorado in 1 month is making like 30 or 40 million. Crazy money. And the state's gotten like 10% of that or whatever. So they're doing really well. Crime's down like 20%, 15%.
I thought they even had to rebate some of the money back to the residents because the way they wrote the law, they took in too much or something.
Oh, I'm not sure there.
Something weird.
Yeah. But I mean, they're making tons of money. So, and it's good for the state, and it's good for crime, and it's good for everything is better and improved. And they're just fucking selling this shit like crazy.
Well, Congress is trying to pass a law right now. Forgot what it was called, like Careers or Carers Act, where they're trying to get marijuana rescheduled as a Class 2 drug. Whereas right now it's the Class 1 with like LSD and heroin and all the most dangerous drugs possible. And then I don't know if they're going to just try to outright legalize it, but
Federally?
I think, yes. I think they're...
Would that mean that on the state level it would be legal everywhere?
I think they're trying to... Maybe they're not going to do it federally, but they're going to let the states decide how they want to handle it, and then they're not going to monkey with it, which would be a good thing.
Yes.
And then also there was a third part to it. I had it and I just lost it.
Must be the marijuana.
Yeah, totally. I'm so hopped up.
Short-term attention span.
Moving right along. So Felice Herrig, back in the news. You know, Mortal Kombat, I don't know if it was 10 or whatever this new version is that came out, has a new character, Cassie Cage, and Felice seems to think that this character seems to look a lot like herself. Like
Really?
chewing bubble gum, taking selfies after she finishes someone. Didn't work out that last fight, but I posted pictures from her Instagram. I mean, it looks, I don't know, is it a coincidence? I showed you.
You did, and
pics.
it looked quite strangely similar, which I wonder at what point does it cross the line of, what do you call that, copyright infringement? Likeness?
Well, yeah.
Likeness infringement or whatever?
Well, the weird question is, since she signed a contract with the UFC, she probably signed her likeness away in that signing of the contract, so it's really wouldn't be an issue for her, it would be an issue for the UFC. So even if they took her likeness, she can't do a fucking thing about it at the end of the day. UFC owns your likeness. Sorry.
Wouldn't the
move
UFC
along.
like to sue?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure they would, since they've been getting hammered with all the lawsuits. Any chance they could get to sue someone, I'm sure they would. Who makes Mortal Kombat, by the way? Oh, Midway. Would they sue Midway? Quit trying to shocker me. I see you're a shocker. I raise you too.
Is Midway still around?
Yeah.
I thought they went out of biz.
No.
I flew out of Midway this time around, by the way. First time ever.
I don't like it.
Quite the experience. Very small airport.
Yeah, I like O'Hare better because it's big and it's closer.
Yeah. Midway is like way far away.
Yeah.
And it's in a really bad part of town.
That way.
You don't realize you're truly like in there. You go.
Like the Jetto.
Yeah, the Jetto. Yeah.
Moving right along.
Want me to give you
Phil
something?
Davis. I'll let you close it out. Let me do
All
the
right.
last one. Phil Davis signs with Bellator. What's that
What?
about?
Oh, that was out of nowhere.
UFC apparently didn't want him.
So what? Like, did they like get a chance to match his offer?
I'm sure they did.
And they said no. He said no match.
I don't think it's worth it because you got to look at it. It's the same thing. Why did the UFC not sign Ben Askren?
Well, it's funny because I just on the plane ride back, I just
Mhm.
watched UFC like Unleashed or whatever, and one the fight was like Phil Davis versus see, that's my brain not working. But it was a very boring fight. Phil Davis.
Name 9 out of 10 Phil Davis fights.
Was there a Lyoto Machida? Did he fight Lyoto?
Yes.
Yes, and it was a
And he got a gift decision.
Yes, he did.
In
Yeah, that's what it
Brazil.
was. Phil Davis, Lyoto Machida, and I was like, wow, this is a boring fucking fight. Like, I'm like, he's just basically holding him down and hitting him sometimes, and that was 3 rounds of that.
Mhm.
And I go, okay. And it's weird. I wonder if that's why they showed it, but
Yeah, Here's what we could have had. Here's
Yeah.
what we're not going to have.
I'm not unhappy about it, but the thing that I wonder is what happens if he goes to Bellator and becomes champ right away?
He probably will.
What does that say about Bellator?
Well, I think it's a litmus test for their fighters because you've seen it go the other way of the fighters that come in that have been champ. You look at Hector Lombard, came over, hasn't been super successful, but decent. Eddie Alvarez came in. Who did he fight first? Was it Cerrone, his first fight, where he just got fucking mollywopped? And then his next one, he's scheduled to fight Gilbert Melendez.
Yeah.
So
shouldn't go his way there either.
No. I mean, there is a. I'm not gonna say Bellator is like the WEC, but it's not the same caliber of opponent that you're gonna fight.
No.
So it'll be interesting to see what he does, but I could see him being the champ.
Yeah.
It's just what level of excitement do you want? I don't want Phil Davis in my league if I'm managing the league. I want entertainers, and I would agree with the UFC in this case. Let him go. And the same thing with Ben Askren. I get he's getting better, but it's part entertainment and part sport. You have to do both. And if you're not going to do it, go fuck yourself. Here's another league for you. Go fight over there and be champ all you want.
Yeah.
So, you want to close it out
Yes,
with
I do.
something?
I'm
Give it
excited
to me
about
and
the
go.
story. So
Totally excited.
let me say
for
this. I know I'm excited. Nate Quarry, showing class as always. He has given a 19-year-old MMA fighter with Down syndrome his dream. Jake the Snake Beckman competed against Nate Quarry just recently in an MMA fight, and apparently Nate, allowed him to finish him via submission. There's some, I don't know if you're going to post a video.
Did you fucking Paul Harris him?
Sort of. It's like a footlock of some sort. And there's some highlights out there. Are you going to post these? By email?
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I'll post this.
I'll email them to you.
Copyrighted us for posting this. Fuck you, because this is a good
shit.
story.
So, I mean, I feel like, sent to you. So I feel like Nate, once again, has shown his class in taking on something like this. And he seems like a really genuinely nice guy. Did something great for a guy who's been training mixed martial arts for quite a while, apparently. And, he had been asking to compete for so long, and now he is the official champ. He's got glasses and everything and a belt. Go for it. Matt's trying to contain himself. He's trying to hold it in. He's gonna say something.
I think he should have kicked his ass and go. You should have gave him a taste of real MMA.
Well,
I'm old school. At least one solid kick.
Well, it didn't look from the highlights I saw, because I don't know if the real fight's online completely. It didn't look like Nate was throwing much offense. It was a lot of defense, slipping and jabbing.
You know what he should have brought out? The fucking rock hammer.
There you go.
He should have came at him like this. Caleb Starks, where you at, motherfucker?
Yeah, Caleb's still fighting apparently.
Good for him.
Good story. Good things in MMA. I don't know.
He should have lit that fucker up. I'm sorry.
Just like
Oh,
Floyd Mayweather.
you think you're gonna get a win, you son of a bitch?
Oh, speaking of which, while I was in Vegas, I inadvertently drove by the Mayweather gym.
What?
Yeah, and I didn't realize at the time. I was like, why the fuck is it so crazy out here? Like, there's literally people everywhere taking pictures and whatever. And I didn't realize that he had scheduled an open workout that night. It was like on Wednesday night, I think, Tuesday night. And I wish I would have known that, because I would have gotten out and taken pictures. We were driving by to go to some restaurant. He has places like in Chinatown, apparently. So in Las Vegas. I mean, it was crazy. There was fucking people everywhere. And everyone's like, why is this so crazy? I'm like, I don't know. It must be just because it's this gym.
Yeah.
TMT like gyms or whatever he calls it. But there's a lot of hype surrounding that fight. I don't know, man. That's going to be a good one.
There's some pictures circulating that he's on some kind of supplements.
Oh, yeah?
Like super jacked. Like,
is he?
Where they showed a picture of him a little doughy and now just completely
ripped.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. Like, not going to drug test, I'm sure.
No.
Or a drug testing agency that he probably owns himself. This motherfucker, I think I saw a video today of they're showing his closet. Someone was talking to him, asked him, how many pairs of shoes do you have? He's got like 1,000 pairs of shoes.
He's rich. He burns money.
He does, and that fuck
Literally.
off. You know, give it to someone who could use it if you're gonna be a dick. Anyway, moving right along. Ask the Nuts. Jeff Ellsbury. Matt Hughes says he's waiting for Dana to call to fight again. Said, would a Hendo versus Hughes fight at a catchweight or middleweight interest you guys anymore? Nope. No interest?
Hendo was like 40 pounds heavier.
I know. I'd
I'm not
I'd
sure
kind of
that-
like to see Hendo knock him the
It'd
fuck
be
out.
a beatdown, I think.
I don't like the Matt Hughes. I
No?
don't like him.
I thought you were a fan.
No, because he was so...
Oh, yeah, Churchy.
Yeah, he handed out Bibles to everybody
yeah,
on The
that's
Ultimate Fighter. You can be all churchy, but don't push your propaganda on me, Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Hey, you know, there's a story about Tom Cruise and what the fuck is his name? The
John
guy from-
Travolta?
No, the guy from Gladiator.
Russell Crowe?
Yeah. There's a story out there. Crowe had done an interview recently saying, when Cruise and the Kidman were a couple, because she's obviously from Australia and so on and so forth. Like, he had talked about how Tom Cruise really never pushed Scientology on him. They had talked about it briefly in passing because, I mean, they were hanging out a lot apparently. And he was just Tom. He's like, Tom was a cool guy. He kind of said, if it's important to you, you'll look more into it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the end of it. So I don't know if the rumors are true that he pushes shit on people. I think publicly his speeches, of course, are out there about Scientology. But I think
Number 2 over there.
Huh?
I think he's number 2 in line.
Who's number one?
That other guy.
Volta?
No. When we watched the documentary, like Going Clear.
Oh yeah.
Whoever that
The other guy.
fucking
Okay.
that guy.
Head.
Yes.
All good.
So back to Matt Hughes. I would like to see him fight Matt Serra at
Oh,
205.
I love that. Why not?
Serra still wants to fight him. They still have beef.
Literally.
Yes. Literally fucking
You
Jesus
sit down and eat
Christ.
some beef together.
Every time you see that guy, bigger and bigger. Mario Lopez. Who has a better chance at defeating Weidman if he gets past Belfort? Jacare or Rockhold? Good question.
I'd say probably Jacare.
It's a tough fight either way. I'm like, fuck.
I think Rockhold gets put on his ass.
No, Rockhold's got decent wrestling too. It's just, fuck. I'm trying. Who's more well? I think Rockhold's more well-rounded, but if Jacare gets you to the ground, I think it's a nightmare. So tough to say. I think both of them are a fucking awesome fight for Weidman. Jordan Carroll, do you feel that Conor McGregor has talked his way into a title shot, or do you think he legitimately earned it?
I will answer your question once the fight happens and he wins or loses. I'm not sure.
It's a little of both.
Yes.
He talked his way in for sure, but right now he is kind of the UFC's golden boy, and they're gonna promote the shit out of him. And you know they are hoping and praying that he's gonna win, because you also have a fighter in Jose Aldo who refuses to speak English, and as a UFC champion, I don't give a fuck who you are. It hurts you if you don't speak English, period. Because who wants to sit here? I know I don't want to, okay, wait, what did he say? What did the translator say? And then the translator doesn't always translate it to 100%. The guy's saying all sorts of nasty shit in Portuguese, and, UFC Embedded doesn't always fucking translate that. So, did he talk his way into a title shot? A little bit, but why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Luke Rockhold. Rodrigo Machado, hypothetical question. What do you guys think is easier? A porn star to become an MMA fighter, or an MMA fighter to shoot a porno in need of money?
Probably number 2 for sure.
Yeah, MMA fighter to go to porno. Also, who do you think on the ladies' side of the UFC would look good on a porno?
I already know what you're going to say. I don't even have to ask.
Paige VanZant.
Oh, you went there? I thought
Nah,
you would
just
say
kidding. I
Chris
just want
Cyborg.
no piece of 115-pounders.
Chris Cyborg?
Done.
Hands down.
Pants down?
I would have to say, does Gina Carano qualify?
Yes.
Okay.
The two of them.
I'm in there.
All right.
Together.
Good. Eric West closing it out. With all the improvements he's made, do you guys think Max Halloway could potentially beat McGregor in a rematch?
Ooh, tough to say. I don't think so. Not now. McGregor seems to be
Maybe.
peaking. He seems to be peaking.
We got to see how Aldo and McGregor fight. It's going to be tough because McGregor has definitely gotten into his head, into Aldo's head. But in that fight, the difference maker for me is the leg kicks that Aldo's going to hit on Conor. One way or another, he's going to get his leg kicked. And you're going to need to see how does he respond to that.
Mm-hmm.
Follow up. And do you guys think that Cub just had an off night? Or is it looking like he's on a downward spiral?
Well, broken hand, broken head, that's hard.
Shit happens. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's bad news.
Yeah, it's a good point. Hard to fight when one happens, let alone two. And I think
from looking at the finish, it looked like he tapped more from pain than he did from a submission. If you have a broken jaw and somebody's cranking on your shoulder,
yeah, it's no good.
can't feel good.
No good. Moving right along, knowledge. Game of Thrones going down.
Yes.
You like the first episode?
Loved it. It was a little bit of a lot going on, but I think I followed most of it. They were trying to open up all the storylines, and it's going to be a very busy season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm predicting episode 3 will be quite the shocker.
Literally. Awesome.
Tonight might be pretty good, but might be just, it's building. We're building.
I'm ready.
Did you like it?
It was too much. There was too many storylines. Matt is a simple man. He likes simple things. Like butter on my ass and lollipops in my mouth, as Boogie Nights would tell me. And then there's this new cartoon I just started watching that I think there's actually been 3 seasons called Brickleberry.
Oh, yeah. I haven't checked your videos yet. What is this? How can you watch this?
It's just on Comedy Central, but they're saying also it's, South Park is here. Brickleberry is up here.
Okay. Whoa.
I didn't think you could go here.
You can?
But I haven't laughed out loud at something in a long fucking time, and that show is getting me to laugh.
Okay.
That's rare. It's rare these days. A lot of this shit I'm just looking at. How everybody thinks this is funny, but I don't think this is funny, so I must have a really warped fucking sense of humor right now, and that show's hitting it. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. But it's on Comedy Central, and they're swearing, and they're whipping out dildos here and there. Like, what the fuck is this? You can do this?
Yeah.
I
bet you it's on Netflix. I'm going to have to take a look.
I like it. I like where we're going. Let's shut it down. We're pissed.
Me too. That's been this week's edition of MMANUTS. My name's Ingo Weigold.
Matt Griffith.
Till next time.
Thanks for playing.